Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome to it. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We've got a brand new bingo card for you to be paying attention to this week. And when you get bingo, you want to be the first to call 888-900-3393. And you win the $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and a dozen cookies from Kexi.com. However, if you don't follow the rules when you call and you're the first to call,
right,
then we're going to hang up on you and you forfeit your prize. We'll go to the next person. If their first word out of their mouth can be bingo and not like bingo, it's got to be somewhat excitedly, then you win. Okay? If you don't, you don't. So that's where we are. And this particular bingo card, which is pinned to the top of Pat Gray Unleashed, starts out with me saying I'm old enough to remember when, whatever. Then Jeffy, who among us? Then we have the business music. Oh, yeah. Sounds a little something like that. Chris, who's not even here today, but I guess he's back tomorrow.
Yes.
But welcome, Lance. Thanks for filling in so brilliantly. But Chris talks about his animals.
Now, Lance, if you have animals and you want to talk about them,
that could probably work. Yeah. Me saying somebody's lying through their communist teeth.
Oh, we got plenty of those today.
Yep. Also, we've got Pocatello, Idaho.
Oh, cool.
The quack, quack. There it is. Keith saying, you got the clucking chickens.
Wait. Oh, it's completely different.
Yeah.
I like them, though.
It was good, though.
Those are good.
Yeah, I like it. Jeffy, you know them, you love them. Then we've got, Gates, who...
I know Lance has that, too.
Be offended.
Okay. Says be offended.
Be offended.
Yeah, I love that. I love that drop so much.
Be offended.
What do you say to women who are angry and offended about your saying they're fat and ugly?
Be offended.
That's what he says. That's what he says. Be offended. Can't help you. Sorry. Certain je ne sais quoi.
Oh.
Then feeling charitable. Mark of the beast. There
are only two genders.
Okay.
God.
Keith says...
Got us by the short and curlies. And on April 15th, they do.
Mm-hmm. And, wow, that's tomorrow.
Yep.
Hunter.
Smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively.
Okay.
Oh, God. This guy.
Jeffy talks about a story from his grandfather. He usually was on his grandfather's knee, or his grandfather took him to some concert. It'll be something along those lines. Then we've got Annie Carney.
This is just about optics. It's not about safety.
All right. Me saying yes, no, yes, yes. Also, the parrot voice. So, You know what the parrot voice is?
I think it's
That kind of thing.
Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Chris mentions Crocs. The shoes?
Oh,
I guess not the crocodiles, right?
No, he wears Crocs every day.
Yeah. Let's use your brain cells.
So let's use brain cells before we post things on the internet.
Thinks. Keith says...
Oh, I got it right here. Aliens, please send help.
All right. And those days don't come back. So that's a pretty good sheet, and you pay attention all week. You call excitedly out of the first thing, not good morning, not how you doing, not thanks for having me on. Bingo! First thing, all right?
First thing.
All right. I think that's clear now. Is it not clear? I think it is. I'm hoping it's
And
clear.
we're not playing.
No, this will be for real now. This is for real.
You've been warned.
Right.
Do it right.
We don't want to hear any complaining afterwards. Oh, I filled out the bingo and it's the first call. Yeah, but you didn't follow the rules.
Didn't follow the rules. Are going to be.
So
act like you're interested.
Follow the rules.
Act like you care.
Right. All right. In the meantime, let me tell you about preborn.com because preborn does such fantastic work. This is the These are the people that I'm maybe most proud to sponsor with, because what is there that's more important in life than saving lives? And that's what they do every single day, about 200 babies per day. Your donation helps present an expectant mother with an ultrasound, and that costs just $28. So if you could afford $28, that would be awesome. Maybe you could do a sponsorship donation, which would fund preborn clinics for $5,000, I think, to fund them for a day. Whatever it is you can afford would be greatly appreciated, because once the expectant mother sees the ultrasound, despite all the hassle that she's in, all of the advice that she's given, some of it very, very bad, about half the time they choose life after seeing the ultrasound. It just increases the baby's odds of being born alive greatly. So if you can help, please do. Go to preborn.com/Pat, or you just call pound 950. Say the keyword baby. It's pound 250. Keyword baby. Pound 250. You'd think I'd know it after all this time. Pound 250. Keyword baby, or preborn.com/Pat.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, on Friday, Karoline Leavitt delivered a message to illegals still hanging out in the United States of America, enjoying their time here, getting their free handouts, staying in plush hotels. Here's her message.
The deadline for registration under the Alien Registration Act is today. All foreign nationals present in the United States longer than 30 days must register with the federal government. Failure to comply with this is a crime, punishable by fines, imprisonment, or both. As President Trump and Secretary Noem have both said, if you register and you leave now, you choose to self-deport, you may have the opportunity to return later legally. But if not, you will be arrested, fined, deported, never to return to our country again. The Trump administration will continue to enforce our nation's immigration laws. We will not pick and choose which laws to enforce. We must know who is in our country for the safety and the security of our homeland and for all American citizens.
Yep. Pretty reasonable. And yet, there are going to be those who are screaming and yelling about that. They hate it. Meanwhile, there's a 2008 video of Hillary Clinton going around. She also had a message for illegal aliens back then.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
Whoa. Who is this?
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English. And you have to wait in line.
Who is this?
Wow.
I don't know who that was. Has she? She was running for some office, this lady? I don't know.
Head of the Republican National Committee?
I'm not sure who that was.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And by the way, you know how we always say, like at these illegal immigration rallies, hey, why doesn't ICE just show up and start arresting people? They actually did that this weekend in Denver at a pro-illegal alien rally.
About time.
And they arrested 40 individuals. I think that is hilarious.
It's fantastic.
It's so obvious that that's what you should have been doing this whole time.
Gather all of you in one place. It makes it a lot easier. It's fantastic. There's absolutely no reason we shouldn't know who is in our country. It's just absolute common sense to protect ourselves. Nobody can argue that illegal immigration hasn't been vastly reduced under President Trump. And here's what Eagle Pass, Texas looked like during the Biden administration compared to today.
Okay, there's before. Look at that. Just the river was
people
full.
Coming across.
The river.
The banks are full.
Yeah, wait. Where is everybody?
Nobody in the river and nobody on the banks.
Where'd Joe go?
Before and after. Okay.
We send back them.
All right. So that's powerful. And it's not just the Eagle Pass sector either. It's like every sector, every border area in the United States of America is experiencing drastically declined numbers, where it's gone from, 12,000 a day in some cases to a few hundred in most cases. It's really staggering. And here is President Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, explaining how the Biden administration was actively using illegal immigration to destroy the country.
Registered to vote, and it was by design. That's their belief.
It is absolutely by design. You've summarized it for your audience perfectly, Sean. This was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions, and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party. It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police, by California law enforcement for serious crimes, for crimes against children, for felonies, for crimes that threaten public safety, and they are refusing to hand these criminal illegal aliens over to ICE. Instead, they're freeing them back into the cities to offend and offend again. By any definition, what California is doing is criminal. It is a violation of our laws. It is one of the most heinous things that I have seen in my entire life in Washington.
Love that guy. He's just so plain-spoken, so passionate about it, too, and just lays it out there for people. It's fantastic. And just to make sure the border stays secure until the wall is completed, President Trump authorized use of the military on public lands along the border. And there's some of them arriving.
I mean,
in Humvees, helicopters.
They are being serious about the border for a change, huh?
Wow. What a difference it makes, too. It just, as we've shown you, as we've talked about multiple times. That's great.
Love to see it.
It's fantastic. Wow.
It turns out, and that's what he was talking about during the State of the Union.
Yeah, just needed a new president.
Turns out you just need a new president.
We didn't need new laws, just needed a new president. Somebody who cared about the laws we already had and decided to enforce them and decided to send the right signal to everybody in Mexico, Central America, South America, China, the Middle East, wherever you're coming from. Don't come here illegally. We'd love to have you if you come here legally. But otherwise, no, forget it. And you're not going to get benefits when you come here like you have enjoyed in the past. So you can forget that too. I mean, it's an incredible difference.
Yeah, and it's important, obviously, to seal the border, stop this. And we've always talked about that, right? The whole analogy of a flood in your house. You shut off the water and then you worry about all the other stuff. But I want to see people from the Biden administration, like Mayorkas and others, that orchestrated this mass chaos on our nation, this nation-destroying chaos of flying illegals into the interior after allowing them to just come across the border en masse. I'd like to see those as well.
You'd like to see those what?
Prosecutions, people held to account for these crimes against this nation.
That's not going to happen.
So let's seal the border.
But that'd be great.
Let's get the illegals out, and then the people in our government that perpetrated this on us, let's hold them accountable.
It's a nice dream, Keith.
I know.
It's a nice dream.
It's a good dream.
It's just not going to happen. But tariffs are going to well, they're happening right now, sort of. They're on, they're off. They're still on, right? But they're on a 90-day hold so far. And it's a little confusing as to who's experiencing
confusing.
what. But the U.S. and China haven't exactly been seeing eye to eye on this situation. I don't know if you've noticed that. So on Friday night, the White House put an exemption into place for semiconductors that are critical in producing electronics like smartphones and computers and things like that. On Sunday morning, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnik was asked about those exemptions.
This exemption on electronics, smartphones, laptop computers, and the like. What's the thinking? Why the exemption?
Well, if you remember, over the past couple of months, President Trump has called out pharmaceuticals and semiconductors and autos. He called them sector tariffs. And those are not available for negotiation. They are just going to be part of making sure we reshore the core national security items that need to be made in this country. We need to make medicine in this country. We learned it during COVID. We need to make it in this country. We need to make semiconductors, because if we don't own semiconductors here, remember, virtually all semiconductors are made now in Taiwan and they're finished in China. It's important that we reshore them. And so the president is going to come out with his policies on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals. They're going to be outside the reciprocal tariffs. And he was just making sure everyone understood that all of these products are outside the reciprocal tariffs, and they are going to have their own separate way of being considered.
But wait a minute. I'm asking you about the exemption, not about, I mean, the notice that went out Friday night saying that electronics, a wide range of electronics, including smartphones, including components used to make microchips, that these are now exempt from the reciprocal tariffs. Why that move?
Well, remember, those products are going to be part of the semiconductor sectoral tariffs, which are coming. So you're going to see this week there'll be a register in the Federal Registry. There'll be a notice put out. That is different types of work. So we're going to do that. We did that in autos. The president's going to do it for pharmaceuticals, and he's going to do it for semiconductors. So all those products are going to come under semiconductors, and they're going to have a special focused type of tariff to make sure that those products get reshored. We need to have semiconductors. We need to have chips, and we need to have flat panels. We need to have these things made in America. We can't be reliant on Southeast Asia for all of the things that operate for us. So what he's doing is he's saying they're exempt from the reciprocal tariffs, but they're included in the semiconductor tariffs, which are coming in probably a month or two. So these are coming soon. You shouldn't think this is really outside of it. Really think of it as being included in the semiconductor space, much like pharmaceuticals. These require special attention, and the president is on it.
So you're saying that the big tariffs on things like smartphones and laptops, iPhones, all those iPhones built in China, that those tariffs are temporarily off, but they're going to be coming right back on in another form in a month or so? Or what are you saying?
Yeah, that's
correct.
Right. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you got it.
Cool.
I mean, how can I make this any more clear?
Thank you.
I've explained it 3 times now.
All right.
Okay? What are you not getting here? Interesting. Because President Trump said over the weekend, nobody is getting off the hook. There was no tariff exception announced on Friday, he said. These products are subject to the existing 20% fentanyl tariffs, and they're just moving to a different tariff bucket.
Yeah, a different bucket.
So there you go. See? We're taking a look at semiconductors and the whole electronic supply chain in the upcoming national security tariff investigations.
So he had to put that out yesterday afternoon after Lutnik and Stephen Miller.
Couldn't quite explain it.
Well, so yeah, I don't know if you want to play the Miller clip here because, like I said, Lutnik and Miller were out there.
Yeah.
And then Trump had to.
So here's Miller on his explanation. And it went a little something like this. Stephen Miller, which would be...
Clip 7.
Yeah, number 7.
You were targeting specific items from day one. Walk us through these exemptions, Stephen, and what they mean.
Yes, this is just another great example of how President Trump had a detailed plan from the beginning that's being executed exactly as directed. And unfortunately, some in the media are deliberately misportraying that plan. The original 20% IEPA, that's the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, for China poisoning our citizens with fentanyl, that 20% rate continues to be applied to all imports from China.
So it's 20%.
When the president issued his reciprocal tariffs,
and the reciprocal,
our government at the time specifically said that chips and semiconductors, which are critical components of our national security,
that's what
were going to
Lutnik
be
was
dealt
saying.
with through a separate commerce authority,
like a bucket,
known as a
bucket.
232.
Yeah, it's a tariff bucket.
That was always the plan because those components
always the plan.
are so essential to our national security. We need to have a separate process for dealing with how to reshore those essential industries. When the tariff rate went up to the full rate of 125 on top of the 20, it was necessary to publish a more detailed list from Customs and Border Protection explaining the rates and how they're applied. There are no exemptions. Everyone pays at least the 20%. And these particular components are being put through a separate process controlled by the Department of Commerce, which is the 232. So this is a sophisticated, elegant, detailed plan to deal with Chinese economic aggression against the United States.
Okay.
So one of the things, and that I don't know how long it's going to take to be able to reshore all this stuff, right? I have no idea. But
when did that become a word? Reshore. Is that you're moving it back to the shores of America?
It's a shorter way of saying bring them back, bring back our industries.
Okay.
So Elon had an interesting tweet over the weekend where he was talking about how 85% of rare earth minerals are refined in China. Not 85% of rare earth minerals, but just the refining process. And that makes sense because we've played clips from the Biden administration of the Interior Secretary who was just a total idiot, that chick. You know, and they refused to let Minnesota, I forgot where else, in the United States, go and get these rare earth minerals. But I don't know how long it's going to take to make it so that we can actually refine them here or reshore that industry, if you will.
And I will.
And I feel like maybe you take care of that and then do the tariff thing. I don't know how long it's going to. Maybe it'll take 2 months. It feels like it's a bigger process than that, but trust the process, right?
Yes. It's a little confusing, though. And, you know,
it sure is.
And at least this media outlet is not, we're not purposefully trying to throw a monkey wrench into what they're saying. I'm just trying to understand what they're saying.
Trying to figure it out, yeah.
Because it's been different multiple times.
One thing Trump did say on that plane coming back from the UFC thing Saturday night during his 2 a.m. press conference, which is awesome. And one of the points he made, Biden couldn't do this. That's absolutely right. But he said, we're making $2 billion a day off of tariffs right now. I mean, that seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Just from the way it is right now.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So, speaking of tariffs, you know, they've kind of thrown the global economy into chaos a bit. Potential widespread inflation tied to massive supply chain disruptions is weighing pretty heavily on us right now. But there is a silver lining that most people have missed. President Trump specifically exempted gold and silver bullion from these sweeping tariffs. While these new policies are triggering pretty significant financial chaos, the administration preserved your ability to diversify into precious metals. So if you're concerned about your savings, let me encourage you to get a free consultation from Birch Gold and their precious metals specialist. The first step is to just text PAT to 989898. You'll get your free, no obligation info kit on gold. You'll learn how to hold gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or a 401k into a gold IRA for no money out of pocket. Just a great way to go. I buy my gold from Birch Gold, and maybe it's finally time you did too. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of thankful customers. Text my name, Pat, to the number 989898. Again, text PAT to 989898. Get your free info kit right now.
It's crazy thought he's at the White House to fight for.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. 130 countries, they're saying now, are seeking a new trade deal. 130 countries are coming to the table. That's pretty amazing. That's like everybody probably we trade with. So National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett and Trump administration officials last weekend stated that more than 50 nations had reached out. Then that number went to, 70, 75. Now it's 130. The whole point of the trade policy, according to Hassett, is to address the national emergency that we're too dependent on foreign products in the U.S., especially if we were at a time of conflict. And we're doing something about that right now. During an interview on CNN is when he said all these things. The reciprocal act was basically, guys, if you come to the table and negotiate with us and treat us the same way we treat you, then we'll get your rate really low. So right now, 130 countries have responded, and we're negotiating with them. And they've got to get the rate down to 10%. I thought we were looking for free trade across the board, but I guess not. But if they get down to 10%, that's better than the deal we currently have. That's 10% with no currency manipulation, with no restrictions, and you saw the effective rate that the Trump administration was exposing for all the various countries. I mean, in some cases, Vietnam, it was 97%. I mean, that's insanity. And you can't just function like that. And yet we've been doing it for decades, and now they're trying to fix it. And it's tough. It's been some pretty tough slogging. You've got all the opposition from the Democrats. You've got the left on your back. You've got Wall Street, which is going crazy, up and down. What are the futures like today? Have you seen?
They were up 400 earlier. Let me look right now.
Okay.
Let me check here.
Up 400.
Right
That's
now,
a good sign.
Yeah. Right now they're up 445 points.
Really?
I'm liking it.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, good. So, I mean, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I guess we have to trust the process. As we hear from football coaches all the time, trust the process. All right. I'm trying to do that. But let us know how these negotiations are going with other countries. I hope they're actually here, and I hope we're actually talking to them right now and moving that process along. And let's just get it done, because the back and forth is difficult to deal with. All right. So Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are continuing their We Hate America tour. They had another stop over the week. I thought that was done. I thought they were done with that.
No, they had a big one, too. How many people were there?
Did they?
Yeah. It was tens of thousands. I forget.
Seriously? Tens of thousands?
Yeah, I forget what the number was.
Wow.
Or AOC attended. Where were they? Were they in L.A.? Yeah, L.A. I think I saw.
And tens of thousands of people showed up for that?
Yeah.
What is the matter with people?
Well, remember, a lot of them are paid. And
Well,
a lot of
that's
them are
true.
just on a tour bus that follows them around the country, as cell phone pinging tower data has shown.
Somebody put together, though, a Bernie Sanders montage of what he's been doing over the years.
Yeah. See if you pick up a pattern here, what he's been saying.
All right.
This great country of ours is moving very rapidly in the direction of oligarchy. The United States of America today is increasingly becoming an oligarchy. More and more moving toward an oligarchy. We are moving in the direction of oligarchy. We will move even more rapidly in the direction of an oligarchy. This great country is evolving into an oligarchic society.
32
It is called oligarchy, and that is the system we are rapidly moving toward. This is a budget that moves our country rapidly
Let me guess.
into the direction of
democracy?
oligarchy.
No,
A handful
oligarchy.
of billionaires are moving this entire planet toward an oligarchic society.
Start off with the bad news, which is pretty bad, and that is that under Donald Trump, this country is hurtling rapidly toward oligarchy.
Well, we've been rapidly hurtling toward it since 1993.
Rapidly.
Wow.
32
And we
years.
still haven't gotten there? We're doing it poorly.
Yeah.
It might be rapid, but we're doing a pretty bad job of it. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. Wow, at the box office over the weekend, Minecraft, the Minecraft movie was number one, 80.6 million. It's up to 280 million since it came out. That's just in America, North America. Number two, The King of Kings. That's pretty awesome. 19 million from Angel Studios. Number two for the weekend. Then The Amateur, followed by Warfare, an A24 war movie. Seems like that's what they do. And Drop. I've never heard of that. 7.5 million. Oh, followed by The Chosen. So in the top six, two of them are like religiously oriented. How about that? The Chosen, Last Supper Part 3 made 5.8 million over the weekend. And that's with everybody knowing it's going to be on TV pretty soon. It's going to be streaming, for free. I think in June, maybe. Anyway, it's happening soon. Still does well. People still want to see it. I wonder if Hollywood's getting the message. We'll have to see, I guess. We just showed you Bernie Sanders over the years talking about an oligarchy. I mean, since 1993, he says we're rapidly, and he says it the exact same way every time over the last 32 years. Every year he says it. Doesn't matter who's in office. Could be a Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. Or headed toward an oligarchy. And here's AOC actively rooting for the destruction of America.
Also, the other way I think you can think about it is that we are, perhaps we are in the downfall of the broken way. Mm-hmm. This was not built to last. Inequity, injustice is not built to last. Mm-hmm. It lasts a long time. It could last hundreds of years. But ultimately, it crumbles into this, a small cohort of incompetent people that create damage. And from that, something new can spring. And so maybe something is declining right now, but maybe it deserves to decline.
Oh, holy cow. Ow. Spoken like a true socialist, communist, America hater. That's great.
I like how she has no self-awareness. It's in the hand of a few incompetent people. You're a congresswoman, and you would definitely be on the list of incompetent people.
That's for sure.
In power.
Wow. What was that, black priestess dress or something? She's getting ready for Halloween there? She just left a meeting of the coven? Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
Weird outfit. Weird look, and really dangerous rhetoric.
Yeah, maybe it deserves to. What was the last thing she said? Just the last 5 seconds, Joe. Can you rewind the last 5 seconds? Maybe it deserves to decline. Or go ahead.
Something new can spring. And so maybe something is declining right now, but maybe it deserves to decline.
Oh, wow. My gosh. That's unbelievable. So what was that? What was the occasion where they were gathered?
I don't know, because Megan Rapinoe was on there.
And she's an America hater, too.
Yeah.
So,
and I recognize the black chick. I don't know her name. I've just seen her probably on MSNBC or something. Maybe, yeah. Who is that? Oh, is it? Oh, that's... Hold on a second. Is that the
I do not know
BLM
her.
chick or no? Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sure that's her natural hair color, though.
Of course it is.
Right? She looks super natural there. That's great.
Who is that?
Oh, man. That is great. At least the hair and the lipstick match. That's fantastic.
That's a better look than what AOC's pulling off over
that's
there.
True. That's true.
What'd you call it? The
coven?
Yeah, I mean, she's looking like a witch.
Speaking of the destruction of America, Democrats continue to oppose voter ID because no minorities have IDs. They're so stupid and they're so incompetent. They don't know where to get them. They don't know how to get them. And they can't scrape together the $5 it takes to obtain government-issued ID. So, how can you possibly make them show an ID when they can't possibly get one at the voting booth? Stephen Miller has been pretty much everywhere the past few days, and he was out discussing that topic as well.
So the claim is, and Hillary made this claim and many others, 69 million married women won't be able to vote if they took on the name of their husband, that they will disenfranchise American voters, and it's voter suppression. By the way, this is an 84-16 issue in terms of the polls. Voters want ID, signature verification, chain of custody controls, updated voter rolls. They want partisan observers watching the voting all day, the vote counting all night. That brings integrity to the process and confidence in results. Why would you be against it?
Yeah, right. The only reason, Sean, you would be against any of that is if you wanted illegal aliens to vote and to vote in incredibly large numbers.
Right.
So let's just deal with all of this BS right now. Every other country in the world of any note requires an ID to vote.
Yes.
The notion that Democrats are pushing that married women, who, by the way, are a Republican voting demographic, cannot get ID, could be one of the dumbest talking points I have heard in my entire life. As you said, the Real ID Act creates an ID that you can get at the DMV that demonstrates you're a citizen. Democrats want illegal aliens to vote. It's why Joe Biden and his administration
Pause it for a sec. There's just no way to get to the DMV, is it? Is there? Is there any way you could? Is there a road that leads there, or is it like the road from my house to yours, Keith?
All right.
Yeah, it might be. There might be no roads that lead married women to the DMV, or minorities, for that matter. So that's an issue. But he had more to say.
His administration gave millions, we verified this now, millions with an M, of illegal aliens social security numbers. And once you have a social security number, it is incredibly easy to vote, to collect welfare, to get free government benefits, to participate in every aspect of American life. This isn't a mystery. They want illegals to steal elections, Sean.
Yeah. Yep. Tell me the other reason. Is there anything else that makes sense? Why else do they want illegals voting? And why else would you not want people to have to show their ID at the voting booth? It's only for non-citizens to vote, right? I mean, you just show up and you tell them a name that's hopefully on the list, and then you go from there. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Well, those days are apparently over now, and so the Democrats are losing their minds over it. And since the minority nonsense didn't work, because minorities are saying, "Wait, no, we're for that too. We want to have to show our ID because we understand that process and how important it is." So they couldn't get by with minorities. So now they're trying married women who have changed their name since they got married. Okay. Wow, are you desperate? Why don't you just come out and say it? Look, we need illegal aliens to vote here. That's the only way we can win national elections now. Jeez. You know, if they were honest about a lot of things, they would really clear things up. Lately, they've been pretty much pro-murder, too. Not just murder of babies, but other human beings. And has there been anybody more clear on that than Taylor Lorenz? First of all, she was one of the first to champion the Luigi Mangione murderer and make him like a hero instead of a villain.
Yeah, he murdered the UnitedHealthcare CEO on the streets of New York.
Yeah, just a dad, a father, a businessman. And, I mean, I don't know how he conducted business with his healthcare agency, but I know this. He didn't deserve to get shot in the back and killed on the streets of New York. But there's a lot of people who think he did deserve it, and Taylor Lorenz is one of them. Listen to this.
Hilarious to see these millionaire media pundits on TV clutching their pearls about someone standing a murderer when this is the United States of America, as if we don't lionize criminals, as if we don't have, we don't stand
it's funny
murderers of all sorts, and we give them Netflix shows. There's a huge disconnect between the narratives and angles that sort of mainstream media pushes and what the American public feels. And you see that in moments like this. And I can tell you, I saw the biggest audience growth that I've ever seen, because people were like, oh, some journalist is actually speaking to the anger that we feel.
The women who gather outside court in New York.
So you're going to see women especially that feel like, oh my God, right? Like here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems this morally good man, which is hard to find.
What the hell is happening?
Yeah, I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me. That's where we are. I'm sure you wouldn't like to be compared to a Trump supporter, but some of how people cannot understand why people have sympathies for Mangione strikes me as the same as a lot of media not understanding why people support Trump.
I totally agree.
It's because a lot of people are just really, really desperate.
They want somebody to take on the system. They want somebody to tear down these barbaric establishment institutions.
Good gosh. That is a chilling conversation between two absolute morons. Wow. So much there. It's hard to know where to even begin on that. Oof. I don't know what to tell Taylor Lorenz. Americans are not enamored or in love with murderers. I mean, I guess they like to see the story of how they got to where they are, and sometimes they find that interesting on a Netflix special, but I don't think they're glorifying the murderer for the most part. I mean, the left is now. Yeah, people like her are. And this idiot who was interviewing her, who I've never seen before. You know who that is?
No idea. I'm just proud of Taylor for being out and about without, crying or wearing a mask or breaking down.
Yeah, no mask. What was that about?
She didn't break down in tears for no reason.
No, because it was a funny topic. She thought it was hysterical.
Murder. Yeah, that's right.
Murderers. That's great. She's on a happy subject there. Jeez. All right. Just told you about the box office that the King of Kings enjoyed this weekend. It's from Angel Studios, studio that brought you Sound of Freedom. This, if you haven't seen it yet, if you're one of the few that didn't go to it on opening weekend, it's about a father who tells his son the greatest story ever told. And what begins as a bedtime story becomes a life-changing journey. Through vivid imagination, the boy walks alongside Jesus, witnesses his miracles, faces his trials with him, and understands his ultimate sacrifice. King of Kings invites us to rediscover the enduring power of hope, love, and redemption through the eyes of a child. This movie has a high-profile cast of voices that includes Oscar Isaac, Pierce Brosnan, Mark Hamill, Kenneth Branagh, Ben Kingsley, Uma Thurman, and Forrest Whitaker, to name just a few. And there's really beautiful animation in this. It's a perfect movie to enjoy with your family this Easter season. So let me encourage you to see King of Kings. It's in theaters right now. You can get your tickets by going to angel.com/unleashed. That's angel.com/unleashed.
Gray Unleashed continues.
All right. We've got more on the Islamization of Texas to share with you.
Amy Meck posted another video. And this is only, I think 1 minute of 12 minutes of it. I don't know if you...
Okay. Here it is.
Buckle up.
Check this out.
Come on. It's good stuff, right?
So far, really good.
Good morning, everybody.
Here's your call to prayer.
The Islamization of Texas is accelerating. By now, most Americans have heard of Plano, Texas,
How long is this?
home to the notorious East Plano Islamic Center.
Oh, okay.
The radical megamosque that's become the ideological nerve center for Sharia expansion across the state. But just down the road, another Islamic stronghold is rising. At Masjid Salahuddin, a massive expansion project is underway, not just of the mosque structure, but of the very culture and identity of Texas itself. This isn't just a construction project. It's Hijra, Islamic migration, and Muslims from around the world are being drawn here, reshaping the Lone Star State from the inside out.
Cool.
Here's a glimpse of what the final project will look like.
Okay.
And now, meet the newest Islamic operative to relocate to Texas and push the Islamization agenda forward. Yusha Evans, Masjid Salahuddin's Director of Education and Community Outreach, who has recently moved to join the effort.
All right, he's
Let's hear
neighbor
in his
now.
own words what Yusha has planned for the future of Muslims in Texas.
Listen.
Muslims become too many in America, they'll start implementing their Sharia real quick. Adultery.
Implementing Sharia.
And I'm giving you this is not part of the course, but I'm leaving you with something.
Okay.
Adultery.
So this is bonus material.
Yeah.
Is adultery an Islamic crime?
Okay, is adultery a crime in Islam?
Is it in the Sharia? Does the Sharia tell us how to deal with it?
Yeah.
What is the penalty? Death. Don't apologize for these things.
Cool.
It's perfect. What about the crime of theft?
Theft, okay.
Is theft a crime in Islam?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a crime in Islam.
Yeah.
What is the penalty?
Cut off the hand.
Cutting off the hand. Yeah. And the goal of that penalty is not so that the person loses their hand and they don't steal again.
What is it?
It's so that I don't have to worry about my property. But you go to a place where you lose your hand. Like, for instance, any of you been to Saudi? Been to the Haramain, Mecca and Medina? Those shopkeepers who sell the rings and stuff on the kiosks, when it's time for Salah, what do? Even to this day.
What do they
put
do?
A cloth over it.
Okay.
And they go pray. Nobody's going to steal anything. Why?
Right,
because you will lose your hand over it.
You'll lose your hand.
And if you're in Medina, they don't have to take you very far because the Sharia court is right next to Masjid
how
Nabawi.
convenient.
They don't have to take you very far.
All
You will
right.
lose your hand.
It's going to be
All right, let's
Plano,
pause it
too.
right there.
Deterrence
'Cause- wow. Okay, so this guy's involved in the expansion?
he moved here. He's
that's good.
He's our neighbor now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and so he's
fun. He's fun, right? There's no doubt they're trying to institute Sharia law.
And we're going to have a
in
Sharia
Texas.
court in Plano because I don't want to have to travel. Like,
No, you want it right next door.
right there.
Yeah. So if you're going to get your hand cut off, you get it cut off right there, right at the scene of the crime, which would be great. And that's not so they won't steal. It's so that you don't have to worry about your property ever again. All right. 888-900-3393. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
With some tweets for you. Rowdy Introvert tweets, everything on Pat Gray Unleashed is a little snarky with the exception of the solemn and excited declaration of bingo and fat shaming. They cannot abide bingo sacrilege or fat shaming.
You got it.
That's true.
Yep.
Thank you for noticing. Jimmy Dimples tweets, over 3 decades of rapidly going oligarchy. Think about how old Sanders is. To him, driving a car at a school zone speed limit is rapid. He'd probably scream, "You're flying like a bat out of Hades!" Probably would. Sarah the Band. Married women can get a real ID. It's just a pain in the butt. You have to bring every document just short of the Declaration of Independence to the DMV with you.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that is a fact.
That is true.
You know, that's a thing. If Democrats were complaining about real ID, then we could actually have a conversation. They're just complaining about voter ID.
Yeah, right.
Because we used to have a big issue with real ID in this country. But we've gotten so used to being tracked on everything we do that it's just like, oh, a national ID. Because Democrats would like a federal database. They love those.
They do.
So it's
They
just interesting how we evolve as far
Isn't
as
it?
being tracked.
They used to be for tariffs as well, if you remember correctly. We had the speech from Nancy Pelosi. We got Chuck Schumer on record, and now of course, that's a bad thing. Let me tell you about one thing you can count on in these turbulent times, though. There will never be tariffs on your delicious Kexi cookies because they're made right here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, United States of America. from recipes that my wife has had and developed over the last 40 years of our life together. In the beginning, she just made incredible chocolate chip cookies, one batch at a time for the family, gave them to family, gave them to friends or at church gatherings. And then after hearing, you should sell these cookies, they're the best I've ever had, about 1.5 million times, a few years ago, we finally decided to do that. Now, in the beginning of Kexi Cookies, Jackie was baking these in our kitchen at home. For about the first year, our house was our bakery. She baked about, I think it was 35,000 cookies, just a dozen at a time in those first months from our normal oven at home. We made them, we packaged and boxed them up by hand and sold them mostly just in Texas and a few other western states at first. Eventually, we built a commercial kitchen with big mixers and ovens and a fancy wrapping machine that works about a quarter of the time. But now we can make many more at a time. We can get them ready for shipping quickly, and we can send them virtually anywhere. But they're all still made by hand with quality gourmet ingredients and a lot of love. And they're still the best cookies you'll ever taste. You'll order a box and discover the best cookies on earth for yourself at Kexi.com. This is the third week of our April month of promotions, and this week we're doing one that's about our rewards program. Normally, for every 100 points you redeem, you would get $1 off. This week, you get $2 off, so we've doubled the rewards. So check it out. The Easter box is gone, but the cookies of the month, the carrot cake, and all of those still available, and you can get them at Kexi.com, Keksi.com, Kexi.com.
Pat Gray returns.
All right, we need to finish up with the, I don't know, what is this guy? Is he one of the Islam, what do they call him?
He's a guy.
He's just
a Muslim
a guy. Yeah, he's a Muslim guy, but...
the teacher.
The imam. That's the word I'm groping for.
Imam.
Thank you, Lance. The imam. Is he an imam or is he just a...
I don't know.
He's just a radical guy who wants to bring Sharia law to Texas. And he moved here to apparently accomplish that.
I think people in Michigan and Patterson, New Jersey, they watch us play these clips from Texas and they're like, yep, welcome to the party, pal.
I'm sure they are. Well, Patterson, New Jersey, though, is grateful because they're now the fourth holiest city on earth.
How's Dearborn feel about that?
I don't know. They must be pissed because I would have thought that was third or fourth, but I guess not. So you've got Mecca and Medina, right?
Yeah.
You have Jerusalem, I think is one of their holy cities.
That sounds right.
You've got somebody else. And then you got Patterson, New Jersey. Maybe it's Dearborn. Dearborn. No?
No.
It's not.
No, because Patterson was the holiest Muslim city
in the whole America?
United States, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So this guy's been rambling on and on about the Islamization of Texas.
And it's interesting how those that defend this would say, look, they have every right to be in the United States of America, right?
And they do.
And they do. And then the counter would be like, well, yeah, but we don't want them implementing Sharia law.
Right.
The dude is saying we're going to implement Sharia law.
Yeah, so take them at their word. It's unconstitutional. It can't happen, and yet they're trying to make it happen here in Texas. And I'm opposed to that. So, yeah, this is not about being Islamophobic or racist or whatever label you want to throw at this. It's a problem because they're talking about Sharia law. They're also trying to exclude everybody else from these areas. And they're succeeding in that because they tell you up front that 75% of your mortgage or your rent, whatever it is you're paying, goes directly to their mosque. Well, Christians are probably not likely to move into that area under those circumstances. So that's how they're getting around that, and they're really proud of it. And they're hiring people with American-sounding names, Christian-sounding names, to fight their battles in court for them. So, I mean, they're really going the extra mile here to try to establish these areas and to establish Sharia law. So let's hear the rest of what this guy had to say.
Those shopkeepers who sell the rings and stuff on the kiosks, when it's time for Salah, what do? Even to this day, they put a cloth over it and they go pray. Nobody's going to steal anything. Why? Because you will lose your hand over it.
Oh, wow.
And if you're in Medina, they don't have to take you very far because the Sharia court is right next to Masjid Nabawi. They don't have to take you very far. You will lose your hand. So the deterrent is there. The deterrent is there. And you know how many cases of recidivism? Anyone know what recidivism is? It means the person repeating the same crime. Do you know what the cases of recidivism, statistics of percentage of recidivism is for theft in a country where they will lose your hand for it? It's almost non-existent. Probably 0 point something.
You don't even know.
Because when you lose a hand, it really affects you.
Let's look up the real stat on that.
Because I only have 2 hands and 2 feet. And if you lose your hand, the next time you're still going to lose a foot.
Okay.
And you will look very awkward missing 1 hand on one side and 1 foot on the other. And if any Muslim
really would.
were to say
he's right about
they
that.
did not want to live under a Sharia, and I'm telling you, they're doing these things on purposes. They're sending out polls about whether you would like to live in a Sharia or not for a reason.
What's the reason?
I would rather you keep your mouth shut than say some of the things that I've heard being said. Because any Muslim who says they would not like to live under Sharia, they have just made a statement that exited them out of their entire religion.
Oh.
They left Islam. Their religion is gone. They have to renew their shahada if they did it knowingly. Because you're saying that you don't want the rule of Allah.
This
you
guy's
don't
really
wish to live
hardcore.
under the laws of Allah. You're not a Muslim.
Okay. There you go. So that's interesting. That's really fascinating. I mean, that's a pretty hardcore stance that if you don't agree with Sharia law, you don't want to live under Sharia law, but you do want to practice Islam. Sorry, you've left the religion. Oh, wow. Okay. Whew. Have you seen any statistic on recidivism in Saudi Arabia?
Detailed recidivism statistics for theft in Saudi Arabia are not readily available. It is generally understood that the kingdom has a low crime rate, and theft is a concern, including in crown blah, 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 but it isn't. And like he said, it's probably 0. So we're going to go with his good stat.
Okay.
There.
Well, if it's probably 0, then
fact-based stats.
He's probably right. It's probably 0.
Now, this says that the terrorist recidivism rate in Saudi Arabia is 3 to 4%. It says Saudi Arabia has the best terrorist rehabilitation program in the world. So if you haven't blown yourself up, we can fix you.
Oh, nice.
I guess.
Oh, that's exciting.
Kind of the thing. I guess it would be 0 if you blow yourself up.
That's
You're
the
not
thing.
going to create any kind of terror issue again. I'm thinking.
Really?
I'm thinking.
Where are you getting
but
that,
I'm not
though?
good with numbers.
No,
We've
you're
established
not.
this in the past.
Clearly you're not. So
I'm probably not the best for numbers-themed stories.
So again, the only reason it's a problem is because they're trying to institute Sharia law. And they're discriminating against Christians and Jews. And anybody else who wants to move into that area by telling them that 75% of your money is going to go to the mosque we're building. Wow. And by the way, these areas already exist. This is nothing new. As we talked about on Friday, there is a misunderstanding that this is a new thing. It isn't. There's at least 2 of these pretty big communities here in Irving where our studios are located. And there's already an existing one, I believe, in Plano. They're just trying to make it much bigger.
Well, this would be a second one.
Okay. So it's a separate one. But this one, it encompasses, I forget how many acres. It was hundreds of acres.
150, I think.
And they've already raised, I think he said, $6.8 million just on the down payment of everybody's down payment to get into this area.
And then you're going to have a bestie in Congress for Ilhan Omar.
Right.
Because this will be a congressional district. It'll just be seeded into its own district, and that'll be a national voice. And then next thing you know, you got somebody else saying on 9/11 some people did some things.
So there is reason to be concerned, I think. You know, a lot of people say, you're just an Islamophobe. Am I? Are we Islamophobes? No. There are some legitimate concerns here. And they're laughing at us behind our backs. They're laughing at us. There was that podcast we played on Thursday or Friday, and they literally laughed and scoffed at how stupid we are because they're skirting around all of our laws and regulations, and even, the anti-discrimination laws, where you can't discriminate based on religion. And they've gotten around that. And they're really proud of it. So proud that they have a podcast about it. And so, I don't know. I think they're telling us exactly what they want to do. And if we ignore that, I guess we deserve whatever's coming our way. So we'd best not ignore it.
And that's the thing. I mean, and Texas knows better, or at least did. But for decades now, we have had absolutely do-nothing Republicans running our state legislature.
Right.
And that's why you have to keep a close eye on who's representing you, not only on a national level, but on a state level.
Yeah.
Because what we're getting down in Austin
my gosh,
is absolute garbage. And so hopefully your state is on a better track, because the trajectory for Texas, I said it last week and I meant it 100%. Give it about between 20 and 30 years, we're going to be begging for this state to be purple if we keep going this way. It's not going to be, we're going to blow right past purple and we're going to be a blue state. And then when you give those electoral votes to the Democrat every 4 years, Katie, bar the door, America. We've got to get our act together down here.
It's pretty amazing what's happened in Austin in the legislature here. It's incredible because the majority is by far Republican, and yet they all act like Democrats. I don't understand it. It's pretty amazing. We've had some really bad speakers of the House in Austin, and that just continues. We got rid of the last one, and they replaced him with somebody just as bad, if not worse. All right, let me tell you about Pure Liver. Let's be honest, we're not getting any younger now, and if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to help with every health goal you could have, whether it's boosting your energy, trimming belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, pumping your testosterone up, or just reducing swelling in your legs. Pure Health Research Supplement Store has you covered. Every formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients. And it's all backed by clinical research, too, and manufactured right here in the United States. Here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount right now. Just go to purehealthresearch.com. Use the coupon code PAT at checkout. They have a 365-day money-back guarantee. There's zero risk in trying something new. So don't wait. Go to purehealthresearch.com, all one word, purehealthresearch.com, and check out their 45 amazing supplements and save 35% before this deal ends. And use the coupon code PAT to get that discount. So don't miss this chance to feel your best. purehealthresearch.com.
Join the conversation on X and follow @PatUnleashed.
Welcome. Great to have you with us on this beautiful Monday morning. Isn't it great that we got the full 5-day work week ahead to enjoy? Love that. Got some tweets here as well to enjoy from Tamara B. We wondered how Pat became a diabetic. Jackie was his cookie pusher.
Oh, right.
I'm sure she'd love to be blamed for that. You know what? They say that's not what does it, though. I don't know.
No. Is this going to be a I'm not fat, I'm big boned type response?
No. But they do say that it's not something you do to yourself. At least that's what they've been telling me. I keep saying I probably did this to No, you didn't do this to yourself. Okay. Type 2 diabetes, though, I think you do develop by your eating habits. That's what I've always thought. And judging by the expression on your face, that's all.
I'm trying to figure out who told you this. A doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
My endocrinologist.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not a biologist, so I couldn't even tell you what a woman is.
Right.
So I'm gonna sit
maybe
this one
you should
out.
keep your
I'm gonna
thoughts to
sit this one
yourself.
out and just go, wow, I learn something new every day. So eat whatever. I guess the moral of the story is eat whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Because it's not your
yeah.
fault
And
if
the
you're
more,
diabetic.
The more junky stuff you eat, the better. Although Jackie's cookies do not qualify as junky.
Build up a tolerance.
They're really good.
They're healthy. I mean, I
They're
eat them
almost healthy.
as a meal.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this many times, and it's 100%
It's a delicious
true.
meal too.
It's a Kexi and a beer, and you got yourself a meal.
Yeah. With Jeffy, it'd probably be milk.
I was about to say it's a miracle, that I don't have diabetes. But again, it's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
If I do,
it's not. Okay. According to my endocrinologist, it's not your fault.
I love that. I gotta get your doctor's number.
I'll give it to you here in a minute.
Okay, cool.
Unrepentant thought criminal. If one of your holy cities is in New Jersey, you're doing it wrong.
That is a fact. That is the truth.
It's so good. That's a place you really don't even want to drive through, but sometimes it's necessary.
It was dark times when I lived there.
From Sarah Barra, we can't chop off our hands for stealing in the States because then we'll have to pay for them all to sit on their asses for life.
Yes, that's how we do it here in America.
Yeah, and beautifully put. Thank you, Sarah. Saving History tweets Evans. That is a solid Muslim-sounding name.
That's right.
Yushna?
No, Yusha.
Yusha
Okay.
Evans. There's no N there. Yusha Evans.
Yeah, Yusha Evans.
What do we know about Yusha now?
So Yusha, if you go to YushaEvans.com, you read his bio, you can see that he was born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, in a very conservative Christian home. In his early teens, he became heavily involved in the church near his home. And, Young Life. Oh, interesting. A non-denominational youth-oriented. He was about to go to Bob Jones University. And
what
then the summer,
heck?
Right? If you're not familiar, it's a world-renowned Bible college. There in Greenville.
Yeah.
And so, just before he went to college, his life changed because he started having issues with stuff he was reading in the Bible, and he did a search of all the religions and realized Islam was for him.
Yikes! Wow.
And
okay.
So now he's
that's quite a change.
Yep. And like we said earlier, he works as the director of education and community outreach at Masjid Salahuddin in Plano, Texas. So he's down the street here. But boy, he has started up Muslim TV stations. He has started this. What was your question there? I got to find this thing he did with gamers.
Yusha must be he adopted that name. I bet
What?
that wasn't his given name.
No,
right?
that's like every Southern Baptist I knew growing up.
Was pretty much all of them were Yushas?
At the youth group Wednesday nights, their name was either John or Yusha. So I don't know what his original name was, but yeah, he talks about how his grandmother had a problem with his conversion. Like his dad is his mom was a Baptist. His dad was a Freemason. I forgot what religion, but he grew up Methodist. Let's see. Okay, Yusha also founded an online gaming community called MGL, Muslim Gamers League.
Wow. Bet that was great to be a part of. It sounds fun.
Well, they're active on YouTube and Discord. Oh my gosh, he has a black belt.
Oh, yeah, don't mess with Yusha.
No, Yusha will take you down.
He'll take you down.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yusha doesn't mess around.
Boy, he was going to become a minister or a missionary.
Dang. Wow.
It's interesting.
And instead went to Islam.
What happens there? Because I know that really good friend of Billy Graham's, you talk about people going divergent paths. He was a hardcore, I want to say Baptist, I'm not positive, but he ended up being like one of the world's biggest atheists.
Oh.
Like, what is it with that divergence? Wow. Like, okay, maybe it's not for you. I'm over here now.
Yeah. Jeez.
Interesting.
It kind of is, and a little disturbing, frankly, because they're trying to Islamifize Texas, which no. How about no? Let's just not do that. Okay? Go ahead and do your own thing with your Muslim religion. Love Islam all you want. Make Patterson, New Jersey, your fourth holiest city, whatever. But we're going to resist that a little bit in Texas. It's nice to hear, too, at least that the powers that be in Texas are at least aware of it.
They're waking up a little bit.
They know that this is happening, and they're trying to do something about it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and this is a message to not only the audience, but to any politicians in the state of Texas that are listening. Please follow Amy Meck, AMYMEK, on Twitter.
All right.
She is on top of this stuff around the clock. She's the one posting these videos. She's the one raising the alarm and the flags. And everybody, please pay attention. And it's happening in other states, too. I know Texas isn't alone, and it's not just Michigan and New Jersey. There are other places around this country that need to be on high alert.
Pay attention to this as well. Frontier Magazine, the second edition is out now, and it's by Blaze Media, of course. We're back with issue number 2, so if you missed the first one, you missed out on a lot. However, issue 2 is bigger, bolder. It's packed with a deep dive investigative journalism, exclusive interviews, and unapologetic storytelling that Blaze Media is known for. So here's the deal. You can't buy Frontier anywhere, not in stores or online. The only way to get it is through Blaze Unlimited right now. Go to blazeunlimited.com/Pat and lock in your subscription before we sell out again. It's not just about reading Frontier, it's about living it. So don't wait. Go to blazeunlimited.com/Pat right now.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I'd like to tell you a story, son.
If it's not about a king, then I'm not interested.
It just so happens that this story is about the King of Kings.
Huh?
Our story begins 2,000 years ago in the little town of Bethlehem.
For unto you is born this day a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
So what did they do?
Well, let's see.
To raise Lazarus from the dead. No one will ever follow him again. I mean, unless Lazarus just walks out of the...
Have faith in me and you will be saved.
Couple of tweets from Giblets. Some would say that when it comes to theft, Sharia law takes a hands-off approach.
Yeah!
Oh. So there you go.
Okay.
Also from It's Rhino Season, I'm a Christian, but if faced with the prospect of having to go to Bob Jones University, I might want to change my religion too.
Oh, no.
Not a fan, apparently, of Bob Jones University. Okay. All right. Stephen A. Smith talking about the prospect of running for president of the United States in 2028. Cool. Listen to this.
Okay.
I saw you mentioned Bill Maher. I saw Steve Bannon was on with Bill Maher, and he was asked what Democrats he worries about. And you know the only name he mentioned as a Democrat he'd be worried about. So are you Are you really thinking about running for president? Is this something you think?
Listen, I've been. I have no choice because I've had elected officials, and I'm not going to give their names, elected officials coming up to me. I've had folks who are pundits come up to me. I've had folks that got a lot of money, billionaires and others, that have talked to me about exploratory committees and things of that nature. I'm not a politician. I've never had a desire to be a politician. I just signed a contract extension with ESPN. I am very, very
pretty
happy
good one, too.
With my day job. I'm very happy with my boss. This is a pretty damn good one. Just right. It's a pretty damn good contract. I couldn't be happier. But here's the reality. People have walked up to me, including my own pastor, for crying out loud, who has said to me, you don't know what God has planned for you. At least show the respect to the people who believe in you, who respect you, who believe that you can make a difference in this country, to leave the door open for any possibilities 2 to 3 years down the line.
There you go.
And that's what I've decided to do.
Okay. I mean, what are these people saying to him? Stephen A., hey, we really love your take on LeBron versus Michael Jordan and that whole thing. And whether the SEC or the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the country. So, listen, you're the only man who can save the country right now. Please run for president. Is that what these people are saying to him?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh, come on now. Wait, Stephen A. Smith.
You're saying it like
come on now.
You're not believing that's the case.
I'm not. I mean, maybe maybe his pastor came up to him. I don't know. What billionaires are coming up to him and saying, we got to have you, man. We got to have you.
I tell you, we're going to have to get something under control if he's going to be on TV running for office. And it's going to be the spittle that pulls up on either side of his mouth, as you can see there. Oof. I don't know if ESPN's lighting in their studio is different than ABC, but...
that's not good.
That's
not good.
To work on the...
It's not good.
I don't like the spittle in the corners.
No, it grosses me out. Thank you for pointing it out.
Well, you're welcome.
That's great.
I mean, that's what I do.
That's great. So, I don't know. It does tell you, though, just how bad the bench is for the Democrat Party.
Sure does.
Who do they have? I mean, Stephen A. Smith is not a viable option. But neither really is Gavin Newsom or AOC. She's not going to win. I mean, she's considered the leader of the party right now. So who do they have? Who's going to run? I don't know. Go back to Dick Gephardt again.
Oh, really?
Maybe, yeah.
You're not going with Gretchen Whitmer, who shined at the Oval Office?
She was terrific. Yeah, show her at the Oval Office. Here she was photographed there,
loser.
And I guess didn't want to be known for being in the Oval Office.
Yeah, no, I can't believe you.
How weird is that?
Yep.
She actually, Gretchen, we know.
Peekaboo! She's like a 3-year-old. You can't see me.
You can't see me. I'm hiding.
Even Keith Olbermann called this the end of her political career. It was
really?
so embarrassing. I mean, just...
Great. It is embarrassing. I mean, come on now. Yeah, we saw you.
And Trump, I guess, called her out like half a dozen times, apparently.
Did he?
During that, just to make sure everybody knew she was in there. Gretchen!
That's awesome.
Gretchen! You know. So, anyway.
So she tried to hide in plain sight, but she couldn't. I mean, she's there trying to... I don't know why you have to hide. She's there trying to get federal money for Michigan.
Right. And
why would you... What's the deal? It's just embarrassing that you think you have to hide from being in the Oval Office with the president.
She's mentally ill.
It shows how much people hate him, though. It shows how much she hates him. And yet she's there with her hand out. So, congratulations, Gretchen. We did see you, even though you had that thing in front of your face for a minute. For whatever reason, due to modern technology, there were other times when you were visible there, and we know it was you. Also, did you see the ruling that Columbia University protest leader Mahmoud Khalil can in fact be deported now?
Get out.
Yep, that's what we're telling him. Get out. So you're saying a sovereign nation can decide who comes in and who goes out of your country? And if someone proves to be a danger to your well-being, you can throw them out? What a concept. Huh. A lot like your own home, to use that analogy that's been used multiple times. If you invite somebody into your home and they start peeing on your carpet, you're probably going to ask them to leave, right? If they take a poop on your couch, you're probably going to suggest, hey, you need to go now. It's time.
I'm going to do more than suggest it's time to go.
Grab your stuff and get out. And that's what this guy is doing here in America. So, yeah, get out. How difficult is it? It's just, it's amazing that was even a thing, that people are even saying that we shouldn't be doing it. Of course we should. I don't care if he's here on a visa or not. When you violate the restrictions on your visa, you need to go. When you lie on your visa to get into the country in the first place, as he did, you need to go. Doesn't make any sense. Apparently, China has suspended exports of a wide range of critical minerals and magnets, threatening to choke off supplies of components central to automakers, aerospace manufacturers, semiconductor companies, and military contractors around the world. Shipments of the magnets, essential for assembling everything from cars to drones and robots and missiles, have been halted at many Chinese ports, while Chinese government officials draft a new regulatory system. Once in place, the new system could permanently prevent supplies from reaching certain companies, including American military contractors. Yeah, this is the danger here that we should have been preparing for a long time ago. Why haven't we opened up manufacturing of, say, pharmaceuticals in this country so that China doesn't manufacture everything we need to sustain life for people who are sick? How is it possible that we've allowed this to happen to ourselves? That we've created so many restrictions we can't mine our own rare earth minerals that we have readily available. But because of restrictions we placed on ourselves, we can't mine them and haven't been mining them. So it's going to take a long time to get that up and running. It's going to take a while to get these things necessary to build all of the stuff that we need to build or supply the pharmaceuticals that people need to be supplied with. But these heavy rare earth metals covered by the export suspension are used in magnets essential for electric motors. These motors are crucial components of electric cars, drones, robots, missiles, and spacecraft. Gas-powered cars also use electric motors with rare earth magnets for critical tasks like steering. Oh, is that important now? Since when did that become important to a vehicle? You have to steer it all of a sudden? The metals also go into the chemicals for manufacturing jet engines, lasers, car headlights, and certain spark plugs. And these rare metals are vital ingredients in capacitors, which are electrical components of the computer chips that power artificial intelligence servers and smartphones. Okay. So,
but you don't.
We're in really good shape. There's no problem here.
I started to say you don't use any of those.
No.
And actually,
we're fine.
I mean,
don't even worry about
case
it.
Can be made that you don't. But I would. Man, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't like the uncertainty
for this.
Hold on, let's see what what do we got on our futures here? Dow Jones. Let's see. Let's see if they're still feeling good.
We're up 435, right?
445 is what we were, and now we're up 432. Okay. So it's dropped just a teeny bit, but that's a very positive number, and it's held steady all morning.
Okay.
So that's good, right?
That's good.
Okay.
Yep. So far, so good. All right. Let me tell you about something else that's good, and that's real estate agents I trust. Because if you're buying or selling your home, it's a really big deal in your life, and it can cause a lot of stress. So what do? You get a partner who can help you through that and make the great decisions you need to make to sell your home for the most money or to get the most home for your money, or maybe both because you're relocating. That's where real estate agents I trust come in. When they are successful in what they do, they can give you the advice that you need in order to sell. Because should you redo countertops? Should you remodel a bathroom? Should you get new flooring? I mean, those are decisions that really have to be made, and they could cost you a lot of money. And if you're not making the right decisions, it's definitely going to cost you a lot of money. That's where Real Estate Agents I Trust come in. Plus, it's a free service that we provide to you. We just set you up with the realtor who's successful and has a great track record. And then they help you through that whole process and just give you that peace of mind. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
So, if you've been following what happened here in Frisco, Texas, in the DFW Metroplex, with the 17-year-old kid that was, or maybe he was 18, was stabbed in the heart at a track meet.
Yeah, both 17, yeah.
Because he asked somebody to move.
Yeah.
He makes his court appearance today.
Yeah,
right?
So Carmelo Anthony is in court today for stabbing Austin Metcalf. And apparently the police have video of the actual stabbing.
Oh, wow.
The
Hadn't
incident
heard that
is
before.
Apparently on video.
Really?
I don't know how
from
clear
somebody's
it
cell
is.
phone,
I don't
maybe?
know I don't know from what camera. I don't know any of that other than that's what was reported this weekend. So that's out there.
Okay.
And I've been reading up on track events, and that's their dugout.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're under that tent, and that's where you're.
And he was from a separate school. He was from a different high school.
He skipped school too, to be at that event. Carmelo did. So that's the other thing.
So he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right. So, but I mean, that's where their belongings are. Your wallet, your keys, all your possessions. Yep. And so having an interloper in there, I mean, that's strike one. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because, oh my gosh, they're pushing the self-defense angle for Carmelo Anthony. But his lawyer dropped him.
Oh, really?
So he had to get a new attorney. And I don't know what that tells us. It could be any number of things. It could be that he realizes he can't defend this, or it could be, the family couldn't afford it, which I find hard to believe after the amount of money that they have raised.
Yeah.
Oh my
they've raised a fortune.
Oh, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. For the killer.
Yeah.
For the killer.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how this plays out. But court hearing today for Carmelo Anthony.
Really sad. Speaking of 17-year-old murderers, there's another one in Wisconsin. Teenager allegedly killed his parents as part of a twisted plot to assassinate President Trump. How bizarre is that? Nikita Kassup, 17 years old, called for the assassination of the president and overthrow of the U.S. government in written documents and text messages found by investigators. The alleged killing of his parents appeared to be an effort to attain the financial means and autonomy to carry out his plan to assassinate Donald Trump. So in Wisconsin, he faces 9 felony charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of hiding a corpse. Just a bizarre story. Apparently, he belongs to some strange group called the Order of Nine Angles. It's a network of individuals holding neo-Nazi, racially motivated extremist views. They also found photos and communications referencing a self-described manifesto regarding assassinating the president, making bombs, and terrorist attacks. So they have a 3-page document from the FBI that called for Trump's assassination to create a political revolution in the U.S. and save the white race. As to why specifically Trump, I think it's pretty obvious. By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president as well, that is guaranteed to bring in some chaos. One excerpt from the document stated. The document also contained images of Adolf Hitler, along with the text, "Hail Hitler, hail the white race, hail victory." Okay. All right. Well, fascinating.
That is also fascinating. Wonder what his background is. Wonder what led him down that road.
I don't know. His parents are gone now.
Yeah.
As a result of this freakish thought process.
You got the Trump threat there in Wisconsin, and then apparently Tulsi Gabbard had credible active threats against her and her
Both
family.
she and President Trump from this guy named Ali Akbar Mohammed Amin. Obviously,
I was about to make a joke that sounds like he's from South Carolina, but that doesn't work anymore.
No.
After what we learned today.
But Ali Akbar was arrested by the FBI on Friday night after he made threats against both President Trump and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. He's 25. He was arrested in Lilburn, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta. A source close to Gabbard says she was informed by the FBI that a firearm was confiscated from Amin at the time of the arrest and that a trial date has been set for later this month. Bottom line, the FBI does not tolerate threats and will hold offenders fully accountable, according to the FBI Atlanta office.
Okay.
They're going to have more information regarding all the specifics later this week, apparently. The arrest comes just a few days after CNN dismissed credible threats against Gabbard, suggesting that her attempts to hide the address of a Texas property she owns were actually part of an attempt to commit voter fraud. What? Her office has raged at CNN for running the story, threatening to file defamation lawsuits and accusing them of putting Gabbard's safety at risk. I told CNN that Tulsi Gabbard had credible active threats against her and her family, and they went ahead and doxed her address anyway. That's unbelievable. CNN was apparently investigating whether Tulsi Gabbard committed fraud by voting in Hawaii, where she served in Congress and lived nearly her whole life, after declaring a property her homestead in Texas. Her office told CNN that the reason they declared a homestead was because in Texas, that designation allows you to keep the address private, which you would want to do if you're a public figure like Tulsi Gabbard. So
they're saying homestead would indicate residency.
Right. Yes.
I don't know how.
The arrest also comes as a protest, of course, rage against President Trump, top members of his administration and his allies. Earlier on Friday, man, the plots just continue. A Pennsylvania man named Sean Monper was arrested for writing that he planned to assassinate Trump on YouTube, where he posted as Mr. Satan.
Wait.
Okay.
That's his online handle?
Yes.
You can call me
Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
So,
and don't be short form in it either. Don't go Satan. No, it's Mr.
Mr. Satan to you, if you would, please. And no, I guess it is gender specific, because thus the Mr. part, which seems a little wrong to me, but whatever.
I see. All right. So
Momper lived in Butler, Pennsylvania. Does that sound familiar?
Never heard of it.
That's where Trump narrowly escaped an attempt on his life earlier at a rally last summer, of course. Momper's arrest came after he wrote on YouTube that all of Trump's appointments needed to be killed. He said, we just need to start killing people. Trump, Elon, all the heads of agencies Trump appointed, and anyone who stands in the way. Wow.
Okay.
32 years old, from Butler, Pennsylvania, goes by the moniker Mr. Satan on YouTube.
Again, include the Mr.
Yes, please. He said, I have bought several guns and have been stocking up on ammo since Trump got in office. Eventually, I'm going to do a mass shooting. A week later, the man allegedly wrote, I've been buying one gun a month since the election, body armor and ammo.
He's posting this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's brilliant, obviously. I mean, this is, I think these people are such freaks that they want the attention. They can't help but mention it because they're proud of it.
Yeah.
And I guess they don't think there's going to be any consequences based on what they're posting.
Yeah. And speaking of Pennsylvania and public figures, you had the governor, Josh Shapiro, his home was set ablaze over the weekend. The inside of that is just horrible. Everyone got out safely, thankfully. But be interested to learn some more information on the guy that did that.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
The 38-year-old suspect they arrested.
Mr. Satan had more, though.
Oh, there's more
if
for
you're
Mr.
interested.
Satan. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
If I see an armed ICE agent, I will consider it a domestic terrorist and an active shooter and open fire on them.
What the hell?
Okay. All right.
So let's use brain cells before we post things on the internet.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too picky. I don't know. Maybe we're all too picky now. Jeez. Pam Bondi said, I want to applaud the outstanding and courageous investigative work of the FBI. Doesn't sound like they had to go too deep into this investigation. It's kind of there for everybody to see.
Right.
But yes, congratulations on taking it seriously and acting on it. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, thank heaven that they're paying attention to this stuff and that Biden's not in office anymore.
Yeah, you'd hate to find out that all this stuff was publicly available and then nothing was done about it. Hey, what do you think about this all-female flight crew going to go to the edge of space today? Isn't that exciting?
I don't know if I know about the all-female flight
Gail
crew.
King's going up there. Katy Perry.
What?
They're
going to the edge of space.
Other names I don't recognize.
With who? Who's taking them there?
Blue Origin.
Oh, okay. So it's just a cry for attention.
Coming up about a half an hour from now.
Okay.
So that'll be good, unless we know, are there clouds predict?
Katy Perry and
so
who
okay,
else?
I don't know these people, so you help me out here if you recognize Aisha Bowe, Aisha.
No,
Okay.
don't know.
Amanda Wynn.
No.
Gail King.
Gail
Katy
King.
Perry.
Do know her. Katy
Carrie
Perry.
Ann Flynn.
No.
Lauren Sanchez. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Lauren Sanchez. Is that a musician of some sort?
I don't.
Singer?
Let's find out here.
I don't know.
She's the reporter. That's Bezos' girlfriend?
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, okay. There you go.
There we go.
So it's probably Lauren Sanchez's friends, right? She's just invited to go up to space with her today. Well, that's great.
Hey, are you doing
Good.
anything on Monday morning? No, what's up? You want to go to space? Sure, let's go.
All right. And it's an all-female thing, and I guess that makes it historic.
Yeah, I think they're going up for like 20 minutes or whatever, and then
Are they going all the way to the Kármán line, or is that going to be another scam that Bezos is pulling on the world?
I don't know if they're going to go all the way to the Kármán line.
Because I know that, what's his face enjoyed it a great deal. William Shatner
yeah, the great
enjoyed it.
Singer William Shatner.
Yes.
Is he known for anything else?
No, just his song stylings, which are tremendous, of course. All right. Well, I'm going to be filling in for Glenn today, and Keith will be handling overtime.
Yeah, we got a lot.
See you back here tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.